Good afternoon. It's October 4th. The name of this will be, "We can no longer allow 5G proponents to silence the voices of the Global Stop5G Movement," of which I am a part. I'm urgently asking all Stop5G proponents to post this video to Facebook and other social media like Twitter so the word gets out. In my 65 years, I've been an activist in the Vietnam War, legalization of marijuana or cannabis, and for the last 2 years I've been involved trying to stop the deployment of fifth-generation internet, which I believe will be a threat to our health, our privacy, and our freedom. Because of the efforts of thousands of activists, that's the reason in Michigan I'm at a friend's house that we can actually grow our own cannabis today without any regulation or card or government regulation. I mention this, for this 5G presentation because the United Nations is still against the legalization of marijuana, and it's now for the deployment of 5G antennas throughout the world. 5G and the UN support for 5G must stop. We will need thousands of activists to mobilize if we're able to succeed in stopping 5G. I was just down the block today and talked to some people that were setting up 5G antennas. They said they've been setting it up in this area for almost 9 months now, and once they get the wires to connect those, they'll be turning it on. So with no further ado, the name of this presentation is "We can no longer allow 5G proponents to silence the voice of the Global Stop5G Movement." Today, 8 days have passed since the purge of the Facebook Stop5G group. When the purge began on 9/27, the creator of the group, John Cools, was removed as administrator for his own group. In August, the globalist censorship group, Disinformation Index, cited John Cools specifically as a 5G conspiracy theorist. Less than 2 months later, someone purged the Stop5G group, removing John Cools, the creator and administrator, from the group, and they removed me, Bruce Kane, a significant daily contributor to the group and a moderator for the group for about 1.5 years. Having read through many articles from Disinformation Index, it seems obvious that they don't merely want to index conspiracy theories put forth by Stop5G activists. They want to make their essays and videos and perhaps the activists themselves disappear. The purge of Stop5G is a perfect example. On the day of the purge, John Cools replied to my email and promised to provide an explanation for what happened on 9/27/2019. He said this would be posted on his website, 5G Resistance. Someone did update the site the day of the purge, adding an old article and a globe widget showing the location of subscribers, and there were few. Both of these updates were dated 9/27. the day of the purge. 8 days later, John has not answered my numerous emails, and no explanation has been provided on his website. As I look back, I cannot be certain that his email from 9/27 was actually authored by John. On 10/3/2019, his website was down for a day, and it's back up. I find it troubling. I'm not sure if he's even still alive. John and I were in good standing, and there's no reason that I am aware why he would not have provided an account of what actually happened. Both John and I have been essentially erased from Facebook and the Stop5G group. We cannot even view the Stop5G group, and we've both been erased from the Facebook directory. I would also be that hundreds of posts to Stop5G have been erased. I will not be surprised if that has happened. In addition, Facebook gave me my 5th 30-day suspension since October 2018, meaning I cannot post or comment for 30 days. I cannot even see the Stop5G Facebook group, nor can I see the Stop5G UK Facebook group. I am sending today's update to various groups that support the 5G movement in hopes that they can get the word out. And that's why I'm asking you to send this video out widely. And that's about the purge of Stop5G. With 24,000 members, Stop5G was possibly the largest Stop5G group on Facebook. There are hundreds of them. I cannot overemphasize the importance of this. If our free speech is increasingly silenced, how will we ever prevail in our attempts to stop the deployment of 5G antennas throughout the planet and space? What is happening is truly Orwellian. I'm referring to 1984, the book. This disinformation index and other globalist censors operate across all big tech platforms, not just Facebook. They appear to be very well financed and seem to be poised to silence both the Stop5G Truth movement and any other groups that oppose a transition to a global government through imposition of UN Sustainable Development Goals, the UN Agenda 21 for local control, and the UN's Agenda 2030 for global control. What most people do not understand is the fact those behind the rollout of 5G, the Rockefellers and Rothschilds, helped establish the United Nations many decades ago. And from the very beginning, these globalists have admitted that they would use climate change as a means to usher in a one-world corporate government. Today, the UN and the Rothschilds, Crown Castle, which they own, are also among the most powerful groups pushing 5G under the auspices of fighting climate change. The UN, the Extinction Rebellion, and the New Green Deal in the United States are also largely financed by proponents for the global rollout of 5G antennas throughout the globe. The truth is, one, anthropogenic climate change, that would be human climate change, is a fabricated myth, and two, spending trillions of dollars to reduce carbon dioxide emissions will only bankrupt first world nations while having virtually no effect on the carbon dioxide levels. Our globalist corporate media, all the tech platforms, Facebook, Amazon, Google, YouTube, Twitter, the corporations supporting and profiting from 5G, the globalist censors, the globalist corporate foundations such as the Rockefeller, Gates, Soros, and Rothschilds Foundation, the United Nations and ancillary groups such as the World Health Organization, most of our elected representatives like Debbie Dingell and Thune, and even many government agencies such as USAID are now all conspiring to become exactly what Orwell warned us in his book 1984, a ministry of truth. The ministry of truth is the ministry of propaganda in the book 1984, and that's what we have today. As with other ministries in the novel, the name Ministry of Truth is a misnomer because in reality, it serves the opposite. It is responsible for any necessary falsification of historic events, just like we're seeing today with the corporate media. At one end of the spectrum, these groups, which compose this globalist ministry of truth, simply remain silent about the existential dangers that 5G poses to our health, our privacy, and our freedom. At the other end of the spectrum, these groups are actively doing everything they can to silence our voices. What happened on September 7th or 9th last week with the Stop5G Facebook group is a perfect example. And way at the far end of the spectrum, it is possible that some of us could be targeted for extrajudicial assassination. There are, after all, $13 trillion at stake here. And until I hear from John, I will entertain the possibility that John may be the first extrajudicial assassination of a Stop5G activist. I have not heard from him in 8 days. My hope is that some of these groups on my expanding mailing list will get word out about the purge of Stop5G on 9/27. They can share this video, they can arrange an interview with me, they can publish their own commentary of the Stop5G purge. I can only say this. If we allow the First Amendment to be eviscerated, our voices will be silenced. And if our voices are silenced, we lose our fight against 5G. And if we lose against 5G, our health, our privacy, and our freedom are going to be devastated. Please help me get the word out. Because 5G, smart cities, the Internet of all things, and the control of all humans are all connected and part of a war against the entire global population. We, the Stop5G community, must prevail. Finally, please thoroughly absorb what's in the essay that I will put in the comments. Together, it perfectly elaborates and explains everything I just covered. The name of the article is Green New Deal and the Climate Movement, Trojan Horses for the Billionaire Class. Very well worth the read. All of us is all we need. If we're going to stop this, we need everybody. We need people to get involved. There is no other way. I just want to leave you from a quote from Benjamin Franklin that he made in 1776 at the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And it's true for us too. He said, "We must indeed all hang together, or most assuredly we shall all hang separately." Now in this case, it doesn't matter if you're an activist or not. The radiation from these 5G antennas that would be placed every 2 to 10 homes throughout the damn planet are going to harm us. I know this, I've read the research. I worked 5 years in medical research and radiation physics. I worked most of my life as a healthcare analyst. I have some intuition on what the dangers of 5G will do. So I'm imploring everybody, get involved, share this video as widely as possible. I'm not sure who purged the Facebook Stop5G group of John Coles last night. I don't know who these people are, but I'm quite sure it's being very well organized at a very high level. Thank you for listening to me, and again, make sure this video gets out everywhere. I spent 30 years making sure that people could grow their own marijuana. I worked with Jack Herrera, I worked with Dennis Perone, I worked with hundreds of other activists. That took 30 years. We do not have 30 years to stop this. The antennas are being deployed right now. I just came down the block about a mile away and talked to some people in trucks that admitted that these towers, these antennas have been going up now in the Dearborn, Metro Detroit area for the last 9 months, and as soon as they wire them together, they're flipping on the switch. The time to stop this is now. Thank you very much. This is Bruce Kane.